If you're looking to buy a new watch but only want to spend around $50, you have to check out this watch. When I first unboxed it, I was blown away by the quality and just about laughed out loud because it should not be this good for only $50. It is the most popular and trending watch on Aliexpress, and it is not an homage. The watch has an original dial, powered by a reliable movement, and has really great dimensions that are suitable for a lot of wrists. I had to buy the watch for myself and see what it was all about. Let's get behind the camera and take a look at the details. At this level of quality and finishing, there are not that many good watches that come to mind when I think of a $50 watch. The Aliexpress AD2030 is much more than you think. Besides the gorgeous sandy white dial, the watch also comes in a nice light blue and tan color. I went with the white version because it gives me Grand Seiko snowflake vibes, and I didn't own a white dial watch. Overall, the case on the AD2030 is executed very well with consistent circular brushing. A really nice detail is there's a sharp transition between the brushing and the polished sides. The watch is much better than I'd expect at this price point. I really like how the side profile is very slim with a thickness of only 12 millimeters, including the crystal and case back. This is accomplished because of the movement choice and the lovely curve at the lugs, allowing the watch to sit comfortably on the wrist. The bezel is polished and just the right size. I was a little worried the mirror polishing on the watch might be chrome dipped, but it is in fact a well-executed machine polish. A nice design that gives the watch a bit of a vintage feel is the top hat crystal, which is made from mineral as opposed to sapphire. This of course would be a nice feature, but for $50 a mineral crystal will do. If Aliexpress ever makes a new version with an upgraded crystal, I'd gladly pay more for it. The mineral crystal on the AD2030 is quite impressive, has a beautiful look, and is probably one of the clearest mineral crystals I've seen. There is a blue AR coating on the underside of the crystal. I'm not usually a fan of blue, but this isn't very visible in most angles, and you can only see a pop of blue on the edges in certain lighting. The dial is the absolute star of the show and what attracted me so much to buying this watch. It's a silvery white color with just a bit of sheen on the finish and a sand-like texture further adding to its complexities. The indices are chunky, polished, and the finish is really nice. The hands are a dolphin handset and are equally as good. What really caught me off guard is the minute markings because they are raised, which is not something I've seen on many watches for $50. The biggest complaint I've heard about this watch and Aliexpress in general is their branding, specifically the logo and the Deep Sea Hunter text. Pictures and videos are very high definition and accentuate these elements much more than looking at it in person. When wearing the AD2030 and glancing at the time a foot away from your eyes, the branding is very small, especially the Deep Sea Hunter text. Powering the watch is the Seiko VH31 Mecha Quartz movement, which is how they've managed to keep the price down compared to having a mechanical movement. I wear automatics a lot, switch up watches often, and have to set the time far too often than I'd like. What makes a Mecha Quartz special is the movement beats 4 times per second, giving a sweeping motion on the seconds hand. Since this is a quartz movement, you will only need to set the time once. Very convenient, and since setting the time about a week ago, it has not lost a second. I like how I could just strap on the watch and go. The bracelet is equally as impressive as the dial and hands. The links are a little thinner than other bracelets I own, so it does feel a bit lightweight in comparison, but I don't really mind that. This is a 36mm watch, and a lighter bracelet pairs well with the dress aesthetic. For the price and style of the AD2030, the lightweight makes it sit very comfortably on the wrist. I really didn't think I would like the bracelet on a $50 watch, but this one is thoughtfully built and does not have many sharp edges at all. It feels a bit better than bracelets I've had on Seiko 5 models. The bracelet has solid links and solid end links. To ensure a perfect fit, the clasp has 5 micro adjustment positions. The lugs are 19mm, which might upset serial strap swappers since there are less options available at this size, but not only is the bracelet very well done, the 19mm size is a great design choice to pair with the 36mm case size. The compromise on lug distance is worth it for the right proportions. Prior to buying this watch, I never purchased anything from Aliexpress. I was familiar with the site and see it talked about often on social media and YouTube, though most often around homage watches. When the Aliexpress AD2030 started popping up on my feed and seeing the unique and original dial, I had to get one. Being able to buy direct from the manufacturer and take out the middleman is what does help cut out a lot of the costs to keep the price low. The buying experience on Aliexpress was super easy and no different than any other website. The crazy part about all of this was the shipping. I received the watch from China to the USA in 7 days. Free shipping. I was really pleasantly surprised by this. Props to Aliexpress. I was able to take advantage of the big anniversary sale they have going on right now, so I really only paid $43 for the watch. At that point, there was not much risk taking a chance on the 80-20-30. I am glad I did. The watch has a great balance of elegance and sporty, which makes it really versatile. Also, no one would ever think it was a cheap watch. Don't let the price or Aliexpress fool you. The Addies Dive 80-20-30 is the real deal and truly the best $50 watch you could buy. It has stayed on my wrist since I got it and will be a part of my rotation for years to come.